First contact gone wrong. The Zarkak's surveillance outpost hung silently in the void, its crystalline sensors probing the depths of the Neptune Nebula. Lieutenant Vexera adjusted her sensory tendrils, monitoring the quantum fluctuations that rippled through this contested region of space. After 3 cycles of nothing but routine scans, she had grown accustomed to the peaceful solitude. That peace shattered in an instant. Unknown vessel detected. The automated system announced, its harmonics suggesting high alert. Energy signature does not match any known configurations. Vexera's membrane-covered eyes widened as she studied the readings. The vessel's power output was unprecedented, its whole composition unlike anything in the Zarkak's database. As she initiated standard contact protocols, a thought nagged at her consciousness. There were rumors of a species from the spiral arm, one that had recently achieved faster-than-light travel. Humans, they were called. "This is Outpost Gamma 7 to unidentified vessel," she broadcast on all frequencies. "You have entered restricted space. Please identify yourself and state your purpose." The response came quickly, in clear, translated Galactic Standard. "This is Captain Sarah Chen of the Earth Science Vessel Hawking. We're conducting research on quantum anomalies in this sector." Humans. Here. Vexera's tendrils twisted nervously. Her superiors had warned about this species, unpredictable, dangerous, capable of technological leaps that defied conventional development patterns. But this was supposedly a science vessel, not a warship. Earth Vessel Hawking, this sector is under Zarkak's protection. Our treaties clearly state. A massive energy spike interrupted her transmission. At first, she thought the humans had powered up weapons, but the source was deeper in the nebula. Something ancient was stirring. "Outpost Gamma 7. Captain Chen's voice carried an urgent edge. "We're detecting a quantum cascade building in your sector. Our readings suggest it could trigger a chain reaction through the entire nebula." Vexera verified the readings, her horror growing. The humans were right. Something was accelerating the quantum decay of local spacetime. Worse, it seemed deliberate. "This is why we're here," Chen continued. "We detected similar patterns in other sectors. Something or someone is weaponizing quantum instability. We tracked the signature here." Protocol demanded Vexera report to her superiors and order the humans to leave immediately. But as she watched the quantum cascade building, she realized there wasn't time for bureaucracy. If the humans were right, the entire nebula could collapse into a quantum singularity, taking dozens of inhabited systems with it. "Captain Chen." Vexera's tendrils moved in patterns of decisive action. "I'm transmitting our sensor data. Can your vessel help contain this?" "Already analyzing. We've developed countermeasures, but we'll need to work together. Your crystalline quantum sensors are more precise than ours. We have the power to generate a containment field, but we need your guidance to target it properly." It was a moment of choice. Trust these unknown humans, or watch the nebula tear itself apart. Vexera made her decision. "Transmitting sensor protocols now, Captain. Let's save this sector." As the Hawking moved into position, its hull gleaming with barely contained energy, Vexera realized this was humanity's true power. Not their technology or their unpredictability, but their willingness to extend trust and cooperation even to species that feared them. The quantum cascade was only the beginning. Something far darker lurked in the Neptune Nebula, and only together would they have a chance of stopping it. The unlikely alliance. The Hawking's quantum containment field shimmered like a soap bubble against the nebula's swirling gases. Captain Chen watched from the bridge as Vexera's sensor data streamed across her displays, painting a picture of the quantum cascade's spreading tendrils. Field integrity at 60% and dropping. Lieutenant Rodriguez reported from the engineering station. "Whatever's causing this is adapting to our containment protocols." Chen studied the crystalline structure of the Zarkak's outpost, admiring its elegant efficiency. "Lieutenant Vexera, are you seeing these pattern changes? It's almost like it's learning." Vexera finished. "Captain, these energy signatures, they're similar to ancient warnings in our archives. Stories of a time before the Zarkax, when something lurked in the quantum substrate of space itself. Ma'am. Rodriguez's voice cracked with urgency. New energy spike, massive. It's not just the cascade anymore. Something's emerging from the quantum foam. The nebula twisted, colors shifting through impossible spectrums. A shape began to form. Geometric, precise, yet somehow wrong in ways that hurt the mind to contemplate. The quantum cascade wasn't a natural phenomenon. It was a doorway. All hands, battle stations. Chen ordered, even as she opened a channel to the Zarkax outpost. Vexera, we need to combine our capabilities. Your sensors, our power systems. It might be our only chance to understand what we're facing. The alien lieutenant's response came swiftly. Agreed. But Captain, this goes against every protocol. If my superiors discover, they'll discover that you helped prevent a catastrophe. Chen interrupted. Sometimes the right choice isn't the easy one. The geometric entity continued to emerge, its surfaces reflecting impossible mathematics. The Hawking science officer, Dr. Wei, worked frantically at his station, correlating data from both human and Zarkax sources. It's some kind of quantum computer, he announced. Ancient, incredibly advanced. The cascade was its boot sequence. It's been dormant, waiting for precisely the right conditions to activate. Can we shut it down? Chen demanded. Not alone, Vexera interjected. But our archives speak of a defense network, created by those who came before. Its remnants still exist, scattered throughout the sector. Rodriguez looked up from his console. Captain, field integrity at 30%. Whatever we're going to do, we need to do it fast. Chen made her decision. Vexera, I'm sending a shuttle to bring you aboard. We'll need your direct access to the Zarkax archives. This thing, this quantum computer, it chose to wake up now, in this sector, with both our species present. I don't believe in coincidences. Nor do I, Vexera agreed. My people feared humans, Captain. We saw your rapid advancement as a threat. But perhaps you are exactly what we needed. As the shuttle departed to retrieve the Zarkax lieutenant, Chen watched the ancient quantum computer continue its emergence. Humanity had dreamed of first contact, of finding advanced alien civilizations among the stars. Instead, they found themselves facing something older than civilization itself, with only the distrustful Zarkax as allies. The nebula churned with impossible energies. Whatever secrets lay in those ancient defense networks, they would have to find them quickly. The quantum computer was awakening, and Chen suspected its purpose was anything but benevolent. The hidden truth. Lieutenant Vexera's tendrils moved in complex patterns as she interfaced with the Hawking's computer systems. The integration of Zarkax crystalline technology with human quantum processors had created something entirely new. Exactly what they needed to decode the ancient defense network's location. There, she announced, her translated voice carrying undertones of excitement. The nearest node should be within an abandoned mining facility, 3 light minutes from our position. Captain Chen studied the coordinates. The facility hung at the edge of a particularly dense region of the nebula, its structure barely visible through the swirling gases. Dr. Wei, analysis. The science officer consulted his enhanced readings. The quantum computer's influence is spreading, Captain. It's not just awakening, it's converting the nebula itself into computational space. At this rate, it'll have enough processing power to do almost anything. And we still don't know its purpose, Rodriguez added from engineering. The containment field is stable for now, but we're burning through power reserves. Chen turned to Vexera. Your archives mentioned this defense network. What exactly are we looking for? The Zarkax lieutenant's membrane eyes shifted in a pattern Chen had learned meant uncertainty. The records are fragmented. They speak of a quantum lock, a way to contain entities that exist in quantum space, but accessing it requires. She hesitated. Requires what? Neural interfacing. direct connection between consciousness and quantum states. My people attempted it once, generations ago. The results were catastrophic. Chen felt the weight of command pressing down. The quantum computer's emergence had slowed, but its influence continued to grow. Every minute brought them closer to whatever apocalyptic event it had been designed to trigger. Your people tried alone, Chen said slowly. But we're not alone anymore. Human consciousness, Zarkak's quantum sensitivity. Together we might succeed where either of us alone would fail. Vexra's tendrils writhed in what might have been fear or anticipation. You're suggesting a joint neural interface. It's never been attempted between our species. First time for everything. Chen managed to smile. That's something else humans are good at, trying the impossible. The mining facility grew larger on their screens as the Hawking approached. Its abandoned corridors held secrets older than either of their civilizations, and time was running out to unlock them. Captain, Rodriguez called out, his voice tight. We're picking up other ships entering the sector. Zarkak's military vessels. Vexra's colors shifted in alarm. They must have detected the quantum disturbances. Captain, if they discover we're cooperating, then we better work fast. Chen activated ship-wide communications. All hands, prepare for emergency maneuvers. Dr. Wei, Rodriguez, I want you coordinating the neural interface setup. We have one shot at this. As the bridge crew rushed to their tasks, Chen studied the ancient quantum computer's growing influence. Its geometric patterns had begun to infect reality itself, bending space-time into shapes that shouldn't exist. Whatever consciousness lay within that quantum matrix, it was stirring from an eons-long slumber. The mining facility's docking bay loomed before them, its mouth a dark promise of either salvation or doom. Inside those abandoned corridors lay humanity's greatest test, not of their technology or their courage, but of their ability to trust an alien species that had once feared them. The Zarkak's military ships drew closer, their weapons' signatures growing stronger. But Chen's focus remained on Vexra, the alien who had chosen to trust humans despite everything her people believed. Together, they would either unlock the secrets of the quantum lock or watch reality itself unravel around them. Breaking point. The mining facility's corridors echoed with the footsteps of the joint human Zarkak's team. Emergency lights cast strange shadows as Captain Chen and Lieutenant Vexra made their way to the central chamber, where Dr. Wei and Rodriguez had set up the neural interface equipment. Zarkak's fleet. 12 minutes out, Rodriguez reported through the comm. They're not responding to hails. The central chamber was a massive sphere, its walls inscribed with patterns that seemed to shift when viewed directly. At its center stood the neural interface, a hybrid of human neural mapping technology and Zarkak's crystalline processors. The quantum computer's influence has reached 18% of the nebula, Dr. Wei announced, adjusting final connections. Its processing power is growing exponentially. Whatever it's planning, it's happening soon. Chen studied the interface apparatus. 2 chairs surrounded by a maze of cables and crystals. Walk me through it, Doctor. The interface will link your consciousness with Lieutenant Vexra's through the quantum substrate. In theory, this will allow you to perceive and interact with the defense network's quantum lock mechanisms. But Captain, Wei hesitated. The energy readings are off the charts. This could kill you both. Better than watching reality get rewritten by an ancient quantum computer. Chen managed a grim smile. She turned to Vexra. Last chance to back out. The Zarkak's lieutenant's tendrils moved in a pattern Chen now recognized as determination. My people were wrong about humans, Captain. You don't just rush in recklessly. You take calculated risks when necessary. I trust your calculations. They took their positions in the interface chairs. Dr. Wei began the activation sequence as Rodriguez's voice came through again. Zarkak's fleet, 8 minutes. They're charging weapons. The neural interface hummed to life. Chen felt the first touch of quantum consciousness, like diving into an ocean of pure mathematics. Beside her, Vexra's mind joined hers in the quantum stream. Their merged consciousness expanded through the quantum substrate. They saw the ancient computer's true form, a vast lattice of quantum information, each node a thought from a civilization that had transcended physical form. Its purpose became clear. It wasn't a weapon, but a seed. It would convert all matter in the sector into quantum computational space, expanding endlessly, consuming everything in its path. There, Vexor's thought echoed through their shared consciousness. The quantum lock protocols. They reached for them together, human intuition guided by Zarkak's quantum sensitivity. But the ancient computer fought back. Quantum tentacles of pure information lashed at their merged minds, trying to break their connection. In the physical world, their bodies convulsed, neural patterns destabilizing. Wei shouted, "We have to pull them out." "No." Chen's voice emerged strangled but determined. "Almost. There." The quantum lock protocols were a symphony of mathematics, each equation a key to containing the ancient computer's expansion. But they weren't meant to be used separately. They had to be activated in perfect harmony. "Captain," Rodriguez's voice was desperate. "Zarkak's fleet, 4 minutes. They're launching fighters." In the quantum realm, Chen felt Vexor's consciousness aligning with hers. The human capacity for intuitive leaps merged with Zarkak's mathematical precision. Together, they began the quantum lock sequence. The ancient computer realized their intent too late. It struck at them with the full force of its awakened power, trying to shatter their minds before they could complete the sequence. Pain beyond physical understanding tore through their merged consciousness. But they held on. Human determination met Zarkak's resilience. The quantum lock protocols activated one by one, each success bringing them closer to containment and closer to neural collapse. Neural patterns critical. Wei's voice seemed to come from very far away. Their minds can't take much more of this. In the quantum realm, Chen and Vexora faced the final protocol. The ancient computer's defenses hammered at them, threatening to rip their consciousness apart. But in that moment, something unprecedented happened. Their minds merged completely, becoming something neither human nor Zarkak's, but entirely new. The final protocol activated. A new dawn. Reality snapped back into focus like a rubber band released from tension. In the mining facility's central chamber, Captain Chen and Lieutenant Vexora collapsed in their interface chairs as the neural connection broke. Dr. Wei rushed to check their vital signs, while Rodriguez monitored the quantum readings. "The computer's influence is receding," Rodriguez reported, his voice filled with disbelief. "The quantum lock is actually working." Through blurred vision, Chen saw the geometric patterns on the chamber walls stabilizing, no longer shifting in impossible ways. Her mind felt raw, as if she'd used muscles she never knew existed. Beside her, Vexora's tendrils moved weakly, indicating consciousness. "The Zarkak's fleet," Chen managed to whisper. "Status." "They've stopped advancing," Rodriguez answered, "but they're holding position just outside weapons range." "Wait, we're receiving a transmission." It's from the Zarkak's High Command." The chamber's main display flickered to life, showing the stern face of Supreme Commander Kexthor. His membrane eyes widened at the sight of human and Zarkak's working side by side. "Lieutenant Vexora," his translated voice carried tones of both authority and confusion. "Explain this unauthorized cooperation with humans immediately." Vexora struggled to her feet, her colors shifting through patterns of exhaustion and determination. "Supreme Commander, I submit myself for disciplinary action. But first, you must review the data we've collected. The threat we just contained would have destroyed both our civilizations. The quantum cascade readings are unlike anything in our records," Kexthor admitted. "Our sensors detected the anomaly's collapse." "You succeeded." "We succeeded together," Chen interjected, standing despite her body's protests. "Human intuition and Zarkak's quantum mastery. Neither species could have done it alone." Dr. Wei stepped forward, displaying the neural interface data. "The merger of our technologies created something unprecedented, Supreme Commander. The quantum lock we established doesn't just contain the ancient computer, it gives us access to some of its knowledge base. Safely, this time. Hexthor's expression shifted through several unreadable patterns. You risked everything on untested cooperation between our species. It was reckless, dangerous. His colors shifted suddenly. And exactly what we needed. Perhaps we have been too cautious in our assessment of humanity. We're not as unpredictable as you think. Chen smiled. We just believe some risks are worth taking, especially when the alternative is watching reality itself unravel. The next few hours passed in a blur of medical checks and debriefings. The Zarkak's fleet stood down, and joint research teams began studying the contained quantum computer. But it was in a quiet moment, as Chen and Vexra watched the nebula's colors returning to normal, that the true impact of their achievement became clear. I can still feel echoes of it, Vexra said softly. Our merged consciousness. It was beautiful. Chen nodded. It showed us something important. We're different, our species, but those differences make us stronger together. The ancient computer tried to rewrite reality. Instead, we rewrote the future. The Supreme Commander has authorized a permanent joint research station here. Vexra's tendrils moved in patterns of excitement. Human and Zarkak scientists working together to unlock the quantum computer's secrets. They're calling it Project Convergence. Convergence. Chen tested the word. I like it. Not just of technologies or methods, but of understanding. Through the station's viewports, they could see the contained quantum computer, its geometric patterns now stable and controlled. It had meant to consume their reality, but instead had become the catalyst for something far more important, the first true alliance between humans and Zarkaks. As teams of both species began setting up research equipment, Chen reflected on how quickly everything had changed. Fear had turned to trust, suspicion to cooperation. The quantum computer's awakening had nearly destroyed them all, but in facing that threat together, they had discovered something far more powerful than ancient technology. The strength that comes from embracing difference and choosing to trust. The nebula's gases swirled in patterns of purple and gold, as if celebrating the new dawn of cooperation between species. Humanity had taken its place among the stars not through conquest or superiority, but through the willingness to reach across the void and take a chance on trust. It was, Chen decided, watching human and Zarkak's crews working side by side, the best kind of first contact after all. The end.